Mumbai and my way back home. The thing about thoughts are that they seem clear in your mind. All of that chaos seems quite reasonable and as though knowing the roads in your hometown. You may get lost on your way there with different streets, those same buildings. But the thing about getting lost in your own hometown is that you always know your way back home. That's the thing with all those thoughts in your mind. They seem perfectly organized as you cross each crossroad, each colony, each garden of memories, in the end finding your way back home. I've seen that's how I write. Those perfectly in order thoughts turn the pages of my notebook into a battleground. But as I begin to write, as my heart starts to pour through my words, I begin to notice those same crossroads, that same little house around the corner near the garden, and the thing is, somehow my writing always finds its way back. So here I am, sitting in quarantine with nowhere else to go other than to pace around my house as if measuring every nook and corner, trying to find something new to excite me. Something new. Something that I may have missed all those years that I have lived under this roof. But here I am, again, sitting in a corner of my room, watching the world through my windowsill. Everything looks so different now. Certain calm yet bleakness in the world through my windowsill. Everything looks so different. The waters look so still, waiting for the wind to dance with them, just like how I am waiting. As I sit here, I begin to look back at the things that I have started to miss, terribly about a city that I have started to see as my own. Just like those still waters waiting for the breeze, those park swings waiting for the young ones to play in the afternoons with. I long to be in the city, standing on those familiar cobblestone sidewalks, feeling like the city is standing still, waiting patiently for me to come back, waiting for this young girl to walk through her streets, measure every nook and corner with the intent of finding adventure, an explorer out with her map, or a pirate searching for forbidden treasure hidden in plain sight. I think there is certain power in being alone in the city. I've seen that I always am more aware of everything around me, so often did this young girl go off on her afternoon strolls that led well into the evening, as she patiently watched the sunset into the sea. All her adventures passed in trying to notice these hidden gems, and as though a passionate collector, starting to store them in all the pages of her journal. Those hidden stories of the people of her city, those hidden magical spots, was the only one who could see them. She wasn't an alchemist, but she knew where she found her gold. It was everything around me. From a young daughter of a flower vendor on the streets of Colaba, as she dreams away, sitting on her island surrounded by a sea of marigolds. I could see those bright dreams in her eyes as she basked in freedom, leaping and twirling to the music of her own heart. To be only brought back to reality with a snap of her mother's fingers near her ear. I wonder where she will be traveling next. The stories I get to meet on the local towards Borivali. Stories of young women, strong women, who work hard every day for themselves and their family. About a single mother who commutes every day from Churchgate to Andheri with her baby daughter that she had just picked up from the nursery. They both made sure that they got the window seat, as both of their heads carefully perched out just enough to feel the light breeze on their cheeks. The mother showing the young one our world. As quickly as it went by, they noticed the man carrying a bag full of his daily produce. They saw a bunch of curry leaves at the top of the bag, visible enough to make their presence known, but hidden enough not to fall off. We saw a young woman and her son, a girl getting in at Bandra with her guitar. They played hide and seek with the moon that day. I remember a fairly young girl who looked recently married, and as she got through the crowd, it was as though the bangles on her hands reached till her elbows, weighed her down. Sitting right in front of me, she has bruises all over her visible parts of her body and a black eye. I wonder what her story was. Did she get into a fight? Was it at her own home? Or was it just a stunt woman on her way back from a hard day's work? I guess I'll never know. That's the thing with Mumbai and its people. There are so many stories around you, running quite parallel to your own, sometimes intertwining. Antique shop at the corner of the street in Kolaba, my favorite caramel custard in Fort. Buying just one rose for myself on my way back from Marine Drive. Stopping at the Parsi Dairy for yogurt and those sweet delicacies that remind you of home. Sitting on Marine Drive, I have seen people fall in and out of love, sweet nothings exchanged, as well as loud insults, as many no's around them, trying to listen more closely. But I just sit in my corner of the world with my book, hearing the waves crash on those rocks as I watch the sun disappear as if it's underwater. I remember the taste of Malabar and Fort, for when I begin to miss the taste of home, the smells and the spices always take me back to the colorful land that I belong. Uncle always recognizes me as I gleefully walk out with a packet of achappams in my hand. Those I always like. Normal day in Mumbai for me was never complete without a juice from Naturals, a sandwich from outside college that always managed to hit all those craving spots in the middle of my lectures. I'm pretty sure Uncle knows my orders by heart now. I thought my story with Mumbai was just between me and the city. I thought it was just about me and those familiar roads and sidewalks, but it soon became much more than that. The new girl from Assam that got in on Dada station. It's about that young man with curly hair who walked alongside me at a respectable distance, as he helped me dodge those drunkards that night. I wonder what would have happened if he wasn't there. It became of all those faces in the foyer, those jam sessions in the woods, those sleepovers, those nights at sunlight, sitting in a spot under the starry sky. It's become about him and our walks in the city as he drops me back home. I thought my thoughts were leading towards the story of the city and me, of a young explorer and her quest for forbidden treasure. But it's become so much more than that. It's about that time not spent, about knowing when I do not go back to the city. I have grown fonder and grateful for having all that I have. And as I said before, my writing always seems to lead me back home. So, here I am.